Hi, I'm Monty. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to just do a quick review of this jig, tiny little piece of wood, and then we're going to do a review of my shop, and I want to tell you about saving space so that you, when you're building your shop, can turn around and maybe make use of some of the ideas I have here. We'll spin the intro. I'll be right back. In our last video, I showed you this particular jig. This is a piece of wood that is 1 inch by 1 inch and by 2 inches. I held it up against a spindle sander that goes up and down, and it gave me a little curvature on here. Now, the beauty of this, I'll show you it in action right now, is when we apply it to the strip which goes down the back of the guitar and also on the front in a few places where we wanted to have just a little extra support in here and in here so that there would never be any chance that that guitar top could split, or the back for that matter. So it's a safety thing. So let me show you how I use this. So when you glue it on there like that, that's what we started with. But because of using different grits of sandpaper on our jig, we end up with something that's aesthetically much more pleasing. And then we will cut through here and we will end up putting our braces across here like this. And you'll see me do that in another video that's coming up. But I like this little jig. It's a handy little thing. And again, it's 2 inches long. It's 1 inch square all the way around. I just simply hold it on the spindle sander to get the bit of a curvature in it. Now what you can do, you can use a rolling pin if your wife will let you, or she's out of the house and you want to do it. Just clamp it in your vise, put some sandpaper on it, and then just run it over until you get the curvature that you desire for this. So you'll turn this piece of wood into something that looks much, much more beautiful. And actually, I think aesthetically, it's much more pleasing to look at through the sound hole. Now, let's go back to the shop. Now, my shop is really tiny. From one wall to the other wall, I've got about 9.5 feet. And I can stretch out from this wall back here, out behind where the camera is, for about 10 feet. That's it. I've got a little alcove on the side that is 5 by 6 where I simply store machinery, pull it out when I need it, and it works great. Now, in order to save space and time, I can't have everything fastened in place. So my bench, it obviously moves, and I can do whatever I want, put it wherever I want. When I need to get it out of the way, I can get it out of the way. And that's a very handy thing to do. Now, saving space is something that I'm really keen on. Take a look at my router table. Simply pull this out and I move it to where I want it. There's little pieces here that stick out from the casters that this is on that prevent it from moving around. I have 2 more on the back so that they all stay secure and nothing moves. Now, this is a piece of metal. I got this at Lee Valley. They don't sell this anymore. They discontinued this and they've got something new, something different. But my router fits underneath here. It's all secure in here and in here. It can't fall. It can't go anywhere. It's perfectly secure. So let's put that back down. It's heavy, by the way. The fence for this table was extremely expensive. I can't believe they wanted so much money. So what I did is I made my own. I made sure I got a good piece of, well, 2 by 2, and I squared it off on the joiner. The same with this 1 by 3. And then I simply screwed it in place here, ran this over the joiner to make sure it was good and flat, so that I would have a nice area when I was working with the fence in order to clamp it. Now, there's a lip on the side of this, so there it is. My fence, it's not going anywhere. It just works beautifully. Now, depending on what you're working on, I tend to use this side quite a bit. So it's flat. I can, if I desire, do it like this if I've got a small piece that I'm running through here. I could, if I needed to, I could operate this way and have it with a bigger opening, but the preferred opening is with this out here because it's flat and I clamp it in like that. That saved me well over $100 to make this piece of wood out of scrap wood that I had here in the shop. So there you go, that's the fence. Now, what else I've got under here, you're gonna like this. I don't use these anymore, by the way. This is my tail block for a guitar, and this is the neck block for the guitar. And what I have here is I have this thing all shaped in here very nice, so I can take a piece of wood that is a neck block like this, and I can put it here, and you'll see, if I show you that, you can see the space right in here. So if you wanted your guitar to be kind of convex there at the top, and the same with the tail block, you'll see there's a slight space there at the tail block. All you need to do is put sandpaper on these two little jigs, and then you simply need to take this and rub it back and forth until it fits smooth into here and this one up in here. I don't do that anymore because that gives me a totally perfect round bottom on a guitar, and I decided I don't want that. I want it flat because a lot of people will stand their guitar up and put it on its end, and if you do that, you don't want it falling over. So there, like that. So I put this back in here. We'll put these back in here as well. So that's what I've got stored under my router table. Now, at the bottom here, which is very hard perhaps for you to see. Well, no, you can see that. These are all my vacuum bags. I talked about that shop vac that I bought, and these are from Amazon. There was 5 of them. It cost me $19 and change, as opposed to 2 of these for $34. I can do the math. So anyway, I've got those here, and I store those down underneath here. Now this just rolls right out of the way, and it's perfect. There you go. So when it comes to your workshop, and it's as small as mine is, you know, even if I call it 10 feet square, that's pretty tiny. I'll show you my drill press and my bandsaw on another video and how I deal with those. But having everything on casters, like my bench and my table saw and the router table and the drill press here, it really does make it handy to be able to move tools in and then get them out of the way so you have room to work around your bench. Now, one last comment about my workbench. It is on casters, which I raised. I got bigger casters, and the bench is higher than what it normally is. The router table is a height of 34 inches. It was, let's see, it would be 16 inches on the bottom part that I made, and the top part is 18 inches to bring it to a height of 34 so that I can be bending down, doing the work and looking at it and making sure everything's copacetic as I do that. Now, when you're working a router table or whatever, you got to be careful of your hands. You got to wear safety glasses. You should wear hearing protection and a mask for the sawdust, because man, it blows sawdust everywhere. Regardless of whether they give you a chute for the vacuum to suck up all the sawdust that is coming off and the little wood chips when you're using a router, don't believe it for 1 minute. It's going everywhere, so make sure you're well suited up for that. All right, that's it. I'm not having tea today. Nope. I've graduated to water. Life is tough. Trying to get in my 40 ounces of water in the morning, another 40 in the afternoon. And that way it keeps me awake all night long, getting up and going to the bathroom. So what can I say? How much fun is that? Anyway, don't forget this little jig. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Even if you don't like the video, subscribe anyway. And hit the like button and hit the bell so you get notified. Gosh, I think I did it right that time. And it's down in the corners. Actually, I don't know if there's something in this corner or not. I don't know. Let's see. If you're looking at the screen, it's over in this corner, right? I don't know. Wherever it is, go find it and hammer it. Punch it with a hammer. Hit that bell so hard that it squeaks and screams. No, I'll do it. Thank you for joining me. I'm heading upstairs. I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.